Hey, today I want to respond to y'all with some questions, some more questions from my viewers, and I really appreciate Steve M. Is one of my subscribers, and he asked some more questions to follow up to answers to questions number 1. And I'm going to be looking over the computer at his questions. So, Steve says, outstanding information, and I'm going to Chile for 6 months to test the waters for a permanent move. I've been in a few times for the past 8 years and have explored from Iquique to Punta Arenas. Okay, so Steve's comment says, outstanding information and informative video. I'm going to Chile for 6 months to test the waters for a permanent move. I've been a few times over the past 8 years and explored from Iquique to Punta Arenas. Truly a magnificent country from top to bottom. I'd love to see a follow-up video with even more detailed info regarding shipping my possessions. His first question is, was the entire shipping container delivered to your home? Yes, it was. It's door-to-door delivery, and I had to arrange for a truck to pick it up in South Carolina, take it to the port in Charleston in my case, and then when it arrived here in Chile, I had to arrange for a truck to pick it up at the port in Chile and bring it to my house. It cost me about $600, $800 to bring it 200 miles, maybe less than that, in South Carolina. It wasn't significant there. The trip on the ship from Charleston through the Panama Canal, around South America, down to Concepcion, Coronel, the same harbor, was $3,750 or $80. I used Allison Shipping. I believe they're in San Diego. Eric Betts is the man there. I really like him. I don't get any kickbacks from these guys. All I get is the people that I send to them, they get really good service. And they don't get the jerk around. A lot of these shipping companies give you the jerk around. Okay? To get my container from Coronel, which is 6 hours north, to here was $1,500, give or take. It was outrageously expensive. So, it was the closest container port to where I am. There's a container port way south of me, and the next closest one north of me on the coast of Chile was Coronel. Now there's a port south of me 2 hours from here called Port Mont. Port Mont does not have container handling facilities right now, which is really bad because it would have saved me probably $1,000. Okay. Next question. Do you end up owning the shipping container? Well, I did in my case, but you do not have to. You can rent the container. There's two trains of thought, just like should I ship my stuff or shouldn't I ship my stuff? Should I own the container or shouldn't I own the container? Well, I learned from somebody else's mistake because you're going to be moving to a foreign country. You don't know how things work. You get here. Well, my friend moved here. I packed his container for him. He was my host family. They went with a shipping company that brought to off the coast of Chile near Santiago in a place called Valparaiso. Thank you, Lori. In Valparaiso, they went from there inland about an hour, hour and a half to Santiago and delivered his rental container. And they were charging him per day out the nose. He had no storage facility, had nowhere to store his stuff, and he had to get unloaded as quick as he can because they were charging him per the day. And I'm talking, they were charging like $500 a day. That's where they get you, okay? So there is no mini storage in Chile. If you were a really smart entrepreneur, you would go buy dirty crap land in Chile and start building mini storage around cities specifically. Just seems smart business to me. Opportunity. So I learned from my buddy's mistake. I bought my own container. I live out in the country is another thing, so that was a little easier for me. He was going into the city. I had somewhere, my container was delivered and I owned my container. I paid $3,400 for my container, which I think was about $1,000 more than I should have paid, but the guy saw me coming. And that was a container with the stamps and seals in intermodal form, which meant it was seaworthy and it was stamped and sealed, and it was good good to go. And actually, I'm sitting on top of that container. It's part of my house right now. So when my container got here, I had a secure place to store all my furniture, all my toys, all my goodies, and you'd have to be a really serious criminal to get into it because it had 4 locks on it. And I bought those digital code locks with the rollover thing like this that you get at Lowe's for a pack for like, I don't know, $35, which here cost $120 for one. So bring those. Really smart buy. The other reason is you could have somebody of yours meet the container if they had to, or your shipping broker, and tell them the code, and they can open the container if it's an emergency or something. Just seems smart to me. Better than having a key. Okay. On to the next question. What port was your container shipped to? In my case, my container was shipped to the port, its name is Cornell. Cornell's about a little more than halfway down the coast of Chile, which is actually 6 hours north of me drive. It's actually going up and then going over to the coast and
south of Santiago.
South of Santiago. I'm 12 hours south, straight shot down the Chile from Santiago. So Cornell's where I went to. It's also called Concepcion. It's the same bay, okay? Now look, when you get a shipping company is going to tell you, oh, there's no way, you can't take that down to Cornell. There's nobody go in there. They don't ship there. Let me tell you, it's a port that has containers all over it. Somebody's shipping there. So if you're going with a shipping company that's telling you they can't go there, what they're telling you is the same thing as saying our airplanes don't land at that airport. Our taxi will not drive down that road. You need to find a different shipping company if they're doing that to you, because what they're saying is we can't do that, so you're going to end up paying. Okay? Next question. Is there a cap on the value of the contents of the container before some sort of tax kicks in? Well, that's a really good question. What I did is I have what's called a agente aduana. That means he's a broker for the people. He's your personal broker. Aduana is a customs agent here in Chile. Agente aduana would be your customs agent. My customs agent, I don't have permission to give you his name. If you need it to, I could refer you to him. People have mixed reviews, but he speaks English, okay? And I worked out all right with me, but I'm persistent. Got to be persistent. Nobody's going to follow and take care of your stuff like you do. Remember that, okay? All right, so here's what he told me about the laws and all that. I just emailed him a little bit ago, so excuse me as I look over here. They changed all these laws in January 2017, so you need to go online and look at them. This is what he said. Foreign persons that have a temporary residence in Chile for more than 1 year can import their household goods free of taxes for a value up to $5,000 US FOB. That means on board, freight on board your container. The value of the goods delivered to the ship, okay. But that does not include the cost of international freight. So what they're going to charge you a tax on is going to be the CIF value, which is the CIF value is the, okay, so the CIF value, I'm getting off of Google, okay, because this is not a term I'm used to, CIF, even though I was in the shipping business because I was aviation. The cost, insurance, and freight, CIF. That's what they're going by, the cost, insurance, and freight. So the cost of your goods plus the insurance to get it here. I didn't insure any of my stuff, and the guy highly recommended I didn't, and I didn't. If I lost it, I lost it. I lost all my toys and stuff, and God be with me. But the insurance was more than the cost to ship it here, so for me it wasn't something I wanted to do. So they're going to charge you based on that rate, the aduanas are, okay? How do I come up with this $5,000 value? I think they went down, it used to be $8,100, but I could be wrong. You go to a yard sale and you say, okay, I have a grill that looks just like that grill. mine is used because everything must be used that you're bringing on your container for this one chance deal of a lifetime to bring a container in, okay? Everything must be used. So you go somewhere to a yard sale and say, how much you want for your used grill? It looks a little newer than mine. I want $50 for it. Okay, my grill's worth 20 bucks, 10 bucks. And you come up with these estimated values, and you have to come up with estimated value for everything used that you have in your container, and you give that to aduanas. And it has to come in, well, it doesn't have to come in, but you can go to $5,000 value. Now my shipping agent told me, make it less than 5,000. I was like, okay, where do I come up with that number? He said, yard sales, Goodwill, that sort of thing, those are the values, because it's used. How much are your underwear worth? I don't know, my underwear are got holes in them. Lori's always yelling at me, you need new underwear. Sorry. 50 cents. I don't know. And you wouldn't just itemize underwear. All your clothing, $200 or $100 or $200. All right. Everything has to be used. Let me give you an idea, a little insight on this used thing. If it comes down here in cellophane wrapped or in the original box, that's not been opened and torn and ripped the box and it hasn't been removed from the cell, that's a new item. They're going to charge you 26% on that, plus the cost of shipping. They're going to tax your birthday away on that, okay? So I, for instance, left my container in South Carolina at my house that I still own there. My son was living in. Hey, Jimmy, go down to Northern Tool and get me a new air compressor. They're on sale right now. Okay, he gets to Northern Tool. I'm talking to him. He's got me on FaceTime. The guy's saying, yeah, that's $360. I said, no, on your website says $198 right now, or $95. Where? And I sent Jimmy on the FaceTime. He said, okay, $198. Boom, got it. Jimmy took home that air compressor, used it, filled it up, made sure it ran, and smeared dirt all over it and scratched it, which was fine. It's 220 power, by the way. We already talked about it in the last video, the 220 factor. And he put that in the container. You know what? That's a used air compressor. I bought a, $1,100 welder, right? A nice Thermal Arc Tweco welder. And Jimmy used that too. So it was used. It could be brand new used, but used. I mentioned this, and I'll mention it again in the last video. They do not sell acetylene and oxygen torches here. I mean, if you're a man into man stuff and cutting steel or whatever I am, you can't get those here. You can rent them just like you can in the United States at National Welders or whatever, where you go lease your tank for 50 years and you bring it back and they fill it up and you pay to fill it up. Well, here in Chile, yes, you can do that. You can rent your tank, and you're going to give them your debit card and all the numbers on it, and they're going to charge you every month to fill it up, whether you bring it back or not. This is not good, because it ain't cheap. Bring those tanks. Buy it. Get one from National Welders and bring it with you. I don't care. They don't care.
I'm getting off topic.
Anyway, I'm getting off topic. Okay, next question. Are there any challenges in shipping and any issues with customs? Okay, I have a buddy, and he did have issues. I didn't have issues. I used Allison Shipping, who I told you about. Google them. They've been nothing but good. There'd be 5 or 6 people I've sent to him. Love them. Best price in town. Good people. Honest. Informative. I did have a friend, and he did use Allison Shipping, and he didn't have a problem with them. But he had a problem, guess where? In the United States. They took his container in San Diego or some sand up there in California, nutcases, and they took his container and they put it in a quarantine on the dock in the United States, because the U.S. Customs thought there was something really sneaky in there. Like, I don't know, he got squirrels or something. I don't know. You know, if you're a terrorist, it doesn't seem to me you'd be taking things out of the United States, and why would the customs care? Or drugs. Oh, he might be taking drugs out of the United States. He's got the mother load of ibuprofen on there, and we don't want him. I don't know. Why the hell? But they charged him thousands of dollars. It sat on the dock, and he was very.
They unpacked everything.
They unpacked everything. They did the doggy sniffy thing, and there was nothing. It was the U.S. Customs harassing him, saying, before he left, and he was pretty teed off. When he got here, I think he had some issues with the customs people here. They charged him some tax. And you're going to have that because they aren't always going to. You have something that looks new, you're going to be in trouble. Let me tell you, everything I have looks used. Look around you. It's used. Even the new stuff I have looks used. In either case, and I went there and I personally met everybody at the dock. I found that to be real important. I didn't rely on somebody from Chile who really kind of has never met me. I'm talking on the phone. It was my junk. I went there and met him, had to get up at 3, leave at midnight, drive up there, get there 6 in the morning. So I recommend you do the same thing so that you are totally in charge and in control of what's going on, okay? And just be real blatantly honest. Here, let's unpack everything. Let me tell you, they unloaded half of my container in about 10 minutes. There was like 10 guys there. They were like ants going in and out that fast. And I was happy for them to do it. And the things that I thought they were really going to hit me on, they set them over there. They don't care. I had some industrial tools in there, an industrial shaper that I brought down for a friend. It was used. They didn't care. It's over there. They didn't care. It's over there. So it's what they do not like is raw wood. They don't like, obviously, you do the stupid things like are you terrorist drugs, bomb making material, line tigers and bears, that sort of thing. They don't like insects, so you don't bring any bees. Can't bring bees, can't bring beekeeping equipment that has ever touched a bee, like woodenware specifically is what I'm talking about. Your stainless beekeeping stuff, you can bring that. I took my stuff, just be kind to the environment here in Chile, because they don't have hive beetles and things like that here. I took my toolbox, which is a woodenware tool, I put it in my oven in my house on like, I don't know, 350 for 30 minutes and baked anything was in there, and then I put all that out in the container. And then I also set off some bug bombs in my container before I left. I didn't want to bring any bugs from the U.S. They're really concerned about that. They don't want you bringing any plants because Chile, their economy runs on agriculture here. And for them to bring something in from the U.S. is not good. They don't have fire ants here. They don't have the termite thing that you guys have in the U.S. They don't have those pest issues, and they want to keep those out. Don't bring a motorcycle. I already told you in the last video. Don't bring an automobile. I would bring a four-wheeler personally because now I want one, and I look around and get a John Deere Gator here is like $11,000 to $18,000 for a Gator. My goodness, I could build one myself cheaper than that. And I also intend on buying a farm tractor in the United States and having it shipped down to me here now, and I'm going to pay the tax on that. And you probably would on that too. Don't bring a car. They'll tax your birthday away on that one. So let me see if there's any other questions. So there's some forms that you need to get. You must have a shipping agent help you through this. That cost me about $400. I think my shipping agent cost, and another $400 I paid in fees. You're going to pay a tax on the value of the container. You have to prove to them what you paid for that container. So if you have receipts for your things that you bought used, by the way, you want to keep those and so you can prove it. Unless you're getting really used like at a yard sale, and then you can just get your neighbor say, yeah, you paid $10, $5, whatever. So, but they charged me taxes on my container, and I wasn't expecting that. And they also charge you a port fee. All of it, I think I paid $400. It was negligible. It was negligible. Yeah, it was reasonable. Where I got the flesh ate off my bone. I mean, I still got marks in my rear end from this one. Was the trucking company charged me $1,500 to bring my stuff 6 hours down the road, and they were already up there with the trucks coming back empty, and I knew that. So why do I mention that? Well, that trucking company is actually out of Port Oman. I know how trucking works. It's round trip miles. They charge you to go from Port Oman to my house up to Coronel, back to my house, back to Port Oman. That's what they're charging. Not from my house to Port Oman, back to Port Oman. Or my house to Coronel, back to my house. No, they charge you right back to their base of operations. So if I was to ship my product, my container, my product, whatever, my stuff, into way far north to to Valparaiso or even Valdivia, I would have had to even shipped it further south on a trucking line, and I would have paid more than it cost to come from Charleston through the Panama Canal here, okay? So the closer you can get to on the coastline to where your little dot is on the map to come into the, that's going to be best for you. That's the shortest distance, okay? A couple other things on containers. Costs almost as much for a 20-foot container as it does a 40-foot container. Maybe $300 or $400 more. Buy the 40-foot container. I don't know. Put dead animals. I don't know. Put whatever you want. You'll go get the stuff that you never thought you would need and put it in there. Okay? Because it's free space and it's a free barn. When you get here, you can drive your car in there and store it here. It's an excellent metal, steel. They're never going anywhere. Okay? Excellent buy. Well spent money. Get it with the intermodal form and all that good stuff too. So 40 foot. They come in 8-foot heights and 9-foot heights. The 9-foot is about, I don't know, I pay like $200 more for the 9-foot. Well, how much did it cost to ship a 20-foot as opposed to a 40-foot? It was negligible. I mean, it was a little bit more, and I probably end up paying totally $800, $900, $600 more to get a 40-foot container than I did a 20-foot container. But I got a 40-foot container here that nobody can bust into. And you got a lot of stuff down here that you're going to be working on your... You may even be living in your container when you get here for a little bit till you get your house built. Boom! Instant house, secured, lock the doors. That's priceless to me, okay? Now, in all fairness, let's go back to the other side, which is sell everything or bring everything. I have my buddy up there in Alaska. He's not real happy, and I understand why. To get it from Alaska to here is going to be like 10 grand. That's probably a case where you just need to sell everything and buy your stuff when you get here. But even then, you're going to be ordering stuff from the U.S. Me? I'm buying a tractor from the United States. It's going to save me $4,000 or $5,000. Why not? I buy all my solar from China, Taiwan, the United States. Why not buy it there and bring it here, with the exception of batteries? Can't do that. So there are real advantages and disadvantages. For me, it was real easy. I wasn't far from Charleston, so I was able to do that. But look, this is a decision every family has to make, okay? I highly recommend that wherever you are, that God be with you, first of all, in your decisions to come here. But please, make a visit. See if Chile's right for you. It might not be right for you. It might be somewhere else. But while you're here, you can at least go to the home centers and construction centers and to the grocery store and wherever you need clothes, televisions, whatever. And you can look at things and say, okay, what do I want to buy? Okay, maybe I don't want to come to Chile because I can't get this or whatever. You can price things before you move here. And then you can decide, oh, I'll go back to the United States. I'm going to buy me a farm tiller, or I'm going to buy all my chainsaw and everything up there because I'm going to pay $1,400, $1,600 for a steel chainsaw down here, and up there I can get it for $600. Okay. Those are the types of things that you really need to do. So I know there's a lot of you that are on your journey to whatever your adventure is, wherever your adventure is, and if Chile is, and I can help you, I'd be happy to. Oh, another question. I keep getting asked, Jim, how much are you going to charge me? What's this cost me? Well, the fact is I don't charge anything, and that's not totally true. I love if you subscribe to my channel because I make a little bit of money. I've made $200 in 5 years. Yes! But the fact is that if you come here and you decide to move here, I'll do whatever I can to help you. We've had, how many families now stay with us? 12, something like that. Families stay with us or visit us. And that's nice too. I'll be happy to help you that way. If I go with you, for instance, to Osorno, to go do, which is the close city to me, to go do your immigration stuff or show you town or help you go buy things, I expect you to buy my gasoline and feed me. That's really what I ask, okay? If you stay with us and you stay for a while, just help pay for the groceries and whatever your costs are to be here, okay? So anyways, I hope that answers your questions. I'm sure there'll be more. Please ask questions. Oh, I keep thinking things, I'm sorry. If you come to Chile, this is a little off the shipping subject, but it's on the asking subject. If you come to Chile, everybody here uses an app. I'm going to show you this app. And this app is called WhatsApp. What's the chances of that? Wow, that was my son calling me for free from the United States on the app that's called WhatsApp. And this app, I'm talking right now to Brandon, Chris, Monica, my son Jimmy, Maria, Ben, Jason, Patty, Eric. I'm talking to people all over the planet right now on this app for free. And the thing is if you're in South America, if you're in Europe, if you're in New Zealand or Australia, I don't know about China, I don't go or East, I don't know anybody over there. Everybody uses WhatsApp. Why? It's cheap, it's free, and the codex is excellent for international. So, for instance, you can contact me through WhatsApp once you download it on your smartphone, and you can either talk to me on the phone operation, or I can do what I like to do because I have miserable internet, is use a walkie-talkie function, and that walkie-talkie function would be something like this. Hey, this is Jim. I just want to let you know, okay, I got your message, yada, yada, yada. And that is gone to you, and it shows me one arrow, 2 arrows that it got sent, and it turns blue when you get it. And you can respond with a voice message, or you can send a video, or you can text me. My phone doesn't work well, so I don't text. Also, I can't feel my fingers. So, download WhatsApp. My phone is on my emails, my Chilean phone. If you need it, you can contact me on the comments page, and I'll send that to you. Ciao from Chile Expat.